Tkachenko. They were 6th in the European Championships last year. They go into this with 54.94 points from their short dance. The leaders at the moment, the Americans, Madison Chock and Evan Bates, with 84.67. They're the leaders on the night, leaders overall going into this final group.
A lovely entry into the spin. The first part was very smooth. Interesting change. Super. Very open on the diagonal step sequence, just some content at the end. Good long edges, but they could have had more in it. Fast twizzles with changing arm movements increases the level of difficulty. One arm lift, deemed as being very difficult.
Well, a wonderful intensity in that program. The music Romance from the Snowstorm by Georgy Sviridov. Love the chemistry between these two. It's a brave thing to use a piece of music like that that's the same tempo, same rhythm all the way through?
I think what a lot of the skaters have seen is that to get the levels, particularly on the step sequence, doing long, deep edges with good turns is just as effective as doing fast steps and lots of detail. And it's easier in dancehall to be doing the long, flowing edges and rising up together and doing those, the counters and the rockers and the trees. So the trouble for me is it becomes a little pedantic at times because we're getting the turn and the turn and the turn, and there's no little movement within that. So particularly on the circular step sequence, I was feeling that there. Some clever entries into the lift, really trying to push the levels up, and at the end too, that balance point, it shows right through that they're trying to innovate. The spin was a highlight for me. Lovely entry into it early on, and the way it maintained its speed, changing position.
Yeah, should be good levels on the spin and those lifts at the end. But a question for you, the music, shouldn't it have a continuous beat to it or a rhythm to it?
I think it should have a continuous underlying rhythm.
So we'll see what the judges have to say about that. But certainly a lot to admire from these two. Really do cover the ice well. Good skating technique from them. They'll be competing in the Cup of Russia as well. But all the teams competing in 2 Grand Prix events, and the scores added together to try and earn them a place in the Grand Prix finals. The finals taking place in December in Quebec City.
The one thing that I found, here he is getting into this position, so he's on one foot. At the end of it was a little bit ungainly. It's trying to get some kind of dismount out of that, and choreographically it didn't work for me. Here's the going into the rotational lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's changing in position, moving through that rotational lift. You can see it's frenetic because you've only got 6 seconds to get through it. I think it'd be so much better if we just had a little bit longer. Here we are with one of the step sequences. Now, his facial expression, I just think, is a touch over the top for me. It's not matching. Maybe at times you want to be really giving that out, that passion, that pained expression. But consistently, when it doesn't really match hers, there is an imbalance in that for me, which I start to become aware of as the program continues. Very good, though.
Yeah, sometimes we forget how difficult the footwork and the lifts and the intricacies are.
Yeah, because
you've got to make it look good, easy as well, haven't you?
I mean, we have the sheets in front of us here of all the rules, and still, to explain it to you, there's option 1A and option 1B.
He's got so many bits of paper out, I can't see the desk.
A difficult pose and at least 5 rotations and a change of pose.
So here we go.
Gosh.
Where will